Mr. Rajesh is also there, my colleague from North region, it seems. Good afternoon to all FSI officers, senior officers here.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Ma'am, CFTRA team also has joined.
Okay, hi, good afternoon. So, Shubha, what we can do, we can wait for a minute or two. So, if
Sure,
more people are joining, it's fine. Otherwise, we can continue, start our program.
Sure, ma'am. I think we'll wait for another minute and
Yes.
we start the session. Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Training Center Food Safety and Applied Nutrition and the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, I welcome all of you to this deliberation session with academic institutions. I'm honored to welcome the senior officers and the senior academicians who have joined us today. Welcome to Preeti Chaudhary, Madam, IRS Regional Director, FSSAI West, Shri Rajesh Singh, Regional Director, FSSAI North, Colonel Pramod Dahitule, Regional Director, FSSAI East. Welcome and a big thank you to Dr. Vasudevappa, Vice Chancellor NIFTM, who's taken time out to come and guide us today. Dr. Prabodh Halde, Member Central Advisory Committee of FSSAI, all the principals, HODs, and senior academicians of various colleges and institutes, including some of my own professors and teachers. A personal thank you and a thank you on behalf of the institution for finding the time. I know we gave you very short notice, but we appreciate your making the time to come and join us on this deliberation session to discuss how ITC-FSAN, which is set up essentially to create a standard modality of sharing competence build-up tools with the entire food ecosystem, can focus on the development of programs which are specific to students of food science and nutrition. Sunny, if you can give me screen share rights, please.
Yes, ma'am, given.
Yeah, thank you. So ITC-FSAN, as you saw in the short introductory video, is a center which was set up on 21st of, it was inaugurated on 21st of September 2019, a very unique initiative by three global parties, so to say. One, of course, is the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI, under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the Export Inspection Council under the Ministry of Commerce, and with funding for part of the analytical equipment infrastructure from the World Bank under their Global Food Safety Partnership Initiative. We are housed in Mumbai, in the EIA Mumbai facility, and the intent of creating this center, which is a one of its kind center as of now in the country, is to develop the ecosystem, the entire food ecosystem, and become a center of global excellence for all capability development programs in the areas of food safety and applied nutrition. Operationally, we have focused our training courses. We've developed specific training courses over the last 2 years in for 4 verticals, so to say. So we do trainings for national and international regulators. We do trainings for consumers on various topics to improve the knowledge and impact the food safety culture, so to say, in the entire country, and the nutrition culture. We do programs for industry. we do programs for laboratory personnel. The intent now is to develop as strong a vertical and sector for student-centric programs. We have done student-centric programs in the past, and in fact, as a policy, all our training programs. So to date, we've done about 280 plus training programs of various durations. Some are as short as 3 hours, some are as long as 4 days. And across a range of topics, we've done training of the defense uh, staff, not just for India, but for Sri Lanka as well. We've done trainings for tribals. We've done a lot of training, of course, for industry, regulators, and the lab. So something as simple as GMP requirements to as specific as analyzing chloramphenicol in, let's say, shrimp. So the gamut of trainings that we've developed and conducted has been very wide. The thought for which we are meeting today is how can we, as ITCFSAN, become a center which is able to develop content to standardize and make the entire student ecosystem also benefit from these sessions. While the ITCFSAN itself is under the advisory guidance of the management and advisory committees, which are chaired by Chairperson FSSAI and co-chaired by Secretary Ministry of Commerce, with the guidance of CEO FSSAI and Director EIC. We are operationally governed at the local level by Madam Preeti Chaudhary, IRS, who's the chairperson of our local management committee, Shri T. Anil, who represents the EIC, Dr. Prabodh Halde, myself as the director in charge of the program, and Dr. Tanveer Alam from IIP Mumbai, and an associate professor, Dr. Chandrika Parmar, who brings in the management expertise to the institute. When we look at the kind of programs we've done, we have only been able to do that because of following very strong training pedagogy to ensure that the programs are impactful. We've developed teaching models based on separate for analytical programs, for management system programs, for food science programs, for example, on water-based products, on dairy products. At the same time, we are able to draw from an extremely knowledgeable pool of faculty, which is the strength that I think ITCFSAN has had in order to be able to train 50,000 plus trainees over the last 2 years. In fact, we've run programs exclusively on the regulatory sessions, which have seen great impact for industry as well as for the laboratory personnel. So our training pedagogy is basically based on ensuring that we have sound teaching models in terms of the application of the methods itself, the teaching skills that our faculty bring in, and the teaching relationships in ensuring that we have a feedback system or follow-up system after every training where the participants come back and engage with us, especially for our long programs. We've recently concluded a 3-month program in partnership with the Indian Institute of Packaging, and we've ensured that post the program as well, the engagement with the participants continues so that there is a learning both for them and for us at the institute so as to improve further. We have about 130 registrants for today's session, and we see very sound participation from across the country. I am sorry that we are not taking time out because I don't want to hold you beyond my committed request for 1 hour. We are not asking you to introduce yourself. Please feel free to put your introductions into the chat box, but a very personal and warm welcome to all of you for joining us today. At this juncture, I'd like to invite Madam Preeti Chaudhary to please share her thoughts and give us a better context for the meeting today. Ma'am,
Thank you very much, Shubha. Yeah, it's audible. Is that audible, Shubha?
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, it is.
Good afternoon to our esteemed participant today, one and all. I know there are lots of expertise here in the participation, which we are not addressing, as Shubha said, in individual level. But it's a warm welcome in this session to one and all. My regards to Dr. Vasudevappa and my colleague Colonel Dahitule and Mr. Rajesh Singh, who are the regional director as well. And our keynote speaker, Dr. Prabodh Halde, is also there. So while designing this program, we had something in mind, that is one line: the food safety is a shared responsibility. I, sitting in my office of food safety or sitting in a training institute, cannot be ensured that food is safe in every plate. So it's participation based, and this participation can come in the most effective manner from none other than the students and the educational institutes. So our whole objective about this program are two, basically. Number one, that we can share our responsibilities with our Gen Next and our upcoming new experts in the field. And secondly, that we always seek such field where we can create employment, self-employment, or some kind of opportunities for our generations. So while designing, we had something in mind that there are so many opportunities which are untapped. One, you would agree that there are lots of jobs in the consultancy itself, food consultancy. The other jobs are available in the food facilitators. Then, as per the requirement of Food Safety and Standard Act, also there are requirement to all the food business operators to have food technicians in their industries, in their workplace, which is most likely meeting or halfway meeting or not meeting exactly. That is one place where our students can get a very good career opportunity, and that was the reason we tapped in the college into this scheme, so that the best benefit can be sent to them and we can provide them. You all would be happy to know that this program would be taken by none other than the officers of Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, and they will be talking about the regulation, current environment of regulation in the country, which will be not less than an authority. So the students, what they are reading about the food safety, they are also required to know the overall ecosystem of the food safety in India, and that would give a sharp edge to their studies and what they are learning too. So one is improving the food safety regulations in India, and the other part is the food ecosystem can be strengthened. These two things can be met very easily with these program. As I already said, we focus this program for the career enhancement for the students. This is our prime target, and that's why colleges are being looped in. You can rest assured that it will definitely help, because industry is in very much requirement of the good skilled personnel today, and this good skilled personnel can be developed with the co-partnership of the colleges, educational institutes, and the authority itself. We have continuous support and the feedback channels from all the food associations. You would be happy to know that NetProfan or the AFSTI, they all are in, or HATSA and other associations which are core active associations or the bodies in the food ecosystem, are regularly in our touch. They provide us feedback also in our working, and thereby there is a very systematic and very balanced manner feedback that we all have. that can be provided to the students as well. And believe me, it will give a very good opening to all of your students. It will also help if they are doing some kind of they are pursuing some kind of courses which may require them additional point for the co-curricular activities, or they want to sharpen their edge on the subject matter. In some of the courses of UGC, Shubha, you can tell it further how they can get more points. Some 3 points are required in the co-curricular activities that can be received from here, because it will be a classroom training for the 48 hours, and that would be really covering all the aspect of food business, including the import, export, production, supply, serving, storage, additives, preservatives. Every nooks and corners of the food business shall be covered here. Apart from this, if need be, or the indicated by colleges, we can again go on building up this program with your feedback. If you feel that some of the corners are untouched, we can tap those things also. It will be also helpful for those colleges where they have no faculties in a regular time. They don't have regular faculties. So our course will help them in that ways also, because there would be readily available faculties for them through the online mode. In today's environment, physical classroom training is right now not possible. So the current mode would be the online mode only. But rest assured that you will be getting a best kind of guidance from the core team of the officers and continuous feedback from the trade bodies and the associations. And it would definitely, I look forward that it will definitely open up the opportunities and exposure for the more exposures for the students. Other consultancy, other feedback you may receive from our core team also on this subject matter. But for the brief introduction, I would conclude here, because I see we have two very esteemed people here. Dr. Vasudevappa is here. So I would like if he can spare 2-3 minutes time to give his words and orientation about the things. My colleague, Dr. Dahitule is also there. Yeah. So he is such a wonderful person. He knows in aggregation to more than everyone. So if he can also spare some 2-5 minutes time, it would be really very good. So I request Shubha if she can listen on this. Thank you, Shubha. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you. Even the
thank you very much.
CFTRI
Thank you very much to Dr. Prabodh Halde, who is our keynote speaker today, and I'm a great admirer of him. So he'll be opening up the more avenues on these things. He is more a precise person on the availability and the exposure on these things. What the students need to learn, he'll be giving you the overall perspective on the course. Thank you for accepting our invitation on this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. What I was saying, even Director CFTRI, Dr. Sridevi ma'am also has joined. So she also can give spare a minute. So Shubha, what I request, all the dignitaries who are Vice Chancellor or Director, if we can request those who are available, 1 minute they can spare, and you take it forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Prabodh. Dr. Vasudevappa, request, sir, if we can start with you in receiving guidance and direction on how best we can roll out this initiative, both as an academician and as a key part of the regulator as well.
Good. Thank you. And, good afternoon, each one of you. And my good friend, Dr. Pramod Halde, and Madam Preeti Chaudhary. Of course, Madam Subhaprada, who has been very insistently calling me that I should be here, and all the other academicians who have come from different colleges, universities, and all the people who are concerned with ITCF. So I would say this is a very good opportunity in the sense the academic institutions, the capacity building of the academic institution itself is something really very important today, especially with regard to regulations for quality and safety. I think this is always, we know that the public health revolves around these things. And that's where I think we have to be really, spreading this information in terms of maybe the outreach or maybe capacity building, in terms of understanding the concepts and issues, and even maybe the skill development. So these are the things which are really essential for, I would say, establishing a health ecosystem in the country, or the analytical or regulatory ecosystem in the whole country. I would say that this is very, very important, especially for India. We have a lot of these traditional foods where many a times we take it for granted, the quality and the safety issues. So that is where I think this is going to become very, very important for us, because our expenditure on health of the public is very high compared to other developed countries. How we can reduce it is through this bringing in a good quality and a food which can be given to everybody. Of course, there are for a good system, there are about 4 or 5 characteristics which we should really analyze ourselves. One, of course, is the responsive, especially when the risks are there, and the outcome oriented, which will really help us understand the whole ecosystem properly, and predictable. So that is one thing, and repeatable. So that is one thing which we need to really understand. Of course, risk proportionate is the concern, because depending on the risk, and we should be, the preparedness has to be there, and of course it should be more independent and transparent. So these things, if they are taken care probably, I think that would be really good. And I would further say the national food safety and regulation framework has been developed in connoissance with, I would say, the Codex Alimentarius, which will again, I would say, comply with a lot of these international laws. That is what is very, very important for us. Of course, they adhere to international standards on one side. And of course, not only that, in harmonization with the global standards and agencies like the European Food Safety Authority or food standards of Australia, New Zealand, US FDA, and things like that. That means we need to focus in a way we stand erect in the international arena. That means we are taking care of all these issues. Not necessary it is for export. Given for internal consumption, we need to look at these things. I know since the academicians and the students are there, probably I thought I should just really give you some points on which we need to really understand things, maybe do some research, and maybe even teach the students. One, of course, is the hygiene and safety issues, including traceability, especially in the agricultural supply chain. This is very, very important. And also the residues, which are very, very important today. In fact, the residues are playing a havoc everywhere. So we need to be very cautious on this. So that's where I think we need to be really looking for. Of course, second, I told you already, the hygiene and safety of some of the traditional and ethnic foods. This is one area. A lot of research has to be done. This would really pave way for standardizing the ethnic foods or the traditional foods on one side, and also bringing in safety and quality concerns, which are very essential. Otherwise, we always get into a lot of health problems. And the third is, of course, the rapid methods of analysis of food contaminants. This is one area, again, a lot of kits are being developed by different institutions. So how effective they are, how predictable they are, how repeatable they are, I think that is one thing we need to really look at seriously. And of course, genetically modified GM foods, we need to give a thought, and how useful they are, what are the impacts, and what are the benefits, and things like that. That is very, very important. That apart, I think another area is the chemical contaminants, especially in food, and their movement in the food chain. So this is where, again, I think a lot of things of concerns are getting raised everywhere, and identification through studies has become very, very important. So this is another big area, not only at the processing level, even in the value chain management system. If these things are to be traced at different levels, because I know a lot of things do happen once the food leaves the the storage facility for a destination. That's where we have to be careful. And of course, radiological safety of food. Nowadays, where irradiation is being used in many areas, and what is the safety of these things? Probably that is another big area where really people can spend some good time. And of course, study on chemical safety and toxicology, including food additives. This is very, very important. And the food contact materials, we have been using a lot of these, the packaging material, which may be spurious or which may be not safe. So these things have to be properly understood. I know a lot of emphasis has been paid, especially on the biodegradable packaging material. So how does it work? So whether it is good or whether it has any other effect and things like that, this is one big area where the food, I would say, many scientists can have a lot of insight into it. And of course, the capability to respond efficiently and effectively, especially under emergencies and disasters. So this is another big area. In fact, I know these are all maybe which will help us to create a sort of a good policy, which is very, very important in the present day context. So that part, of course, I would say they evaluate the risk assessment protocols. See, now risk assessment has become a big area internationally also. So risk assessment is something which I would say we need to really properly understand, including the protocols of that. I think that is where we need to spend. In fact, we were planning to have a center for risk assessment at NIFT. So these are all, there are a lot of, I would say, the pros and cons on various issues which are really, matter, especially for the risk assessment. I think this is another very big area, in fact. Of course, risk communication. This is another area to have innovative methods of communicating risk awareness among consumers. So this is really lacking in India. We don't bother. Even when we destroy some of the foods which are, I would say, beyond the expiry date, we don't even inform the public. So that means the risk awareness or the communication is not happening. So this is another, I would say, big area. Of course, develop hygienic and good practice, especially, I would say, in meat, fish, and poultry, because these are all perishables, highly perishables. So we need to have PACA and a standard methodology established, which can really address these issues, which I would say are very, very important, and especially on low risk management system. This is something which has to be properly really taken care. And the microbiological food safety, I know we have been doing all this, despite the fact that we are very seriously working on some of the microbes which are really harmful or deleterious. But even then, many of our exports are rejected because of the microbiological problems and the contaminants. I think this is another big area. In fact, I would say that there is a lot of, to the extent of even in the food chain also, as well as likely impact and extent of effect on foodborne diseases. This is another, I would say, area. So that's where I think we have to be really conscious. This is something which is very, very important. Of course, research on nutritional composition, I think this is, again, and we see only the FSSAI sort of a logo on the packed foods. The real nutrient composition will not be depicted at all. They will give only whatever that is, I would say, good for the people, but that should not be so, should be made mandatory for everybody. These are the components you need to really highlight. So otherwise, it becomes again a difficult thing to, especially manage the balanced diets or balanced nutrition and things like that, which can create, through that we can create a real big national data as well. The data bank has to be created, and that part, of course, food law enforcement. This is another big area. I know India is a huge country where I would say more than 25 or 30 lakh people are in the food processing. So, but the quality management and the law enforcement, because I would say even including the Ministry of Food Processing Industries or FSSAI, their capacity in terms of reaching all the states is very, very low, dismally low. We cannot claim that we are like an agriculture department. We cannot claim that we are like a commerce department. That means what is that we have to do? Probably this is one area. How actually we can really improve the efficiency of the operation or the law enforcement and things like that. That is another big area, I would say. And quick testing methods for detection of contaminants and things like that, which always people ask. Especially if you look at the farmer level adoption of these regulatory things, quick testing methods they want. Are we ready with that? Probably this is another big area where a lot of science can really come in. And I wish, so all of you, especially while teaching the students, take care of some of these issues, which I would say are very important in the present day context, which can really help not only creating a band of quality food evaluators or food regulators and the analysis people and things like that. that would really help the whole country in terms of coming up with quality and safe food. And I wish to even make a mention here. NIFTEM, we have become an institution of national importance now. We are planning to open up, I would say, on the courses on food safety and quality on the international, the regulations and things like that, which would really be, there is a huge support for this, and we are planning to just open up maybe some time next year. So with this, thank you very much for Subhaprada, I think, and of course Dr. Pramod, who was just after me. And thank you so much for inviting, and all the very best for the entire team. And I wish FSSAI always will come up with good things like ITCFSON. I think probably in the initial phase of formation of it, I was also involved. So with our previous CEO. So all the very best once again. Thank you very much. I think I'll take leave of you because I have another meeting.
Sir. You had another meeting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and guidance.
Thank you.
Thank you, VC sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And congratulations, Preeti ma'am. NIFTEM become the institute of national importance, and the bill has been passed by actually Parliament in this session. Congratulations, VC sir.
Hearty congratulations sir आपको. And हमें भी आगे प्रेरणा मिलेगी इससे, and your continuous guidance would be there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best. All the very best.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Okay, I'll take leave.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Dr. Prabodh, if I can now invite you to share the industry perspective on what we are attempting to do in terms of the regulation and the engagement of students in learning food regulations and food safety.
Shubha, can you make me admin? I will show my presentation.
Sunny, can you give sir screen sharing rights, please?
Before I speak something, I request Director CFTRI, ma'am, if you are okay to speak after me, or you have also time constraint, so I can definitely.
Yes, Sridevi ma'am, we would be.
Thank you, Dr. Halde and Dr. Subhaprada. Actually, I think Dr. Vasudevappa has really spoken very extensively on the subject, and I do concur with him in whatever he has said. And you are also well aware that CFTRI has been having these kind of programs in skill development and training. More than 40 such programs have been held at our institute also. And we have had we have covered all areas of food safety and analysis, especially the nutrition and toxins, as well as adulterants, microbiology analysis, shelf life, packaging. In fact, very comprehensively, we have been able to address this, and therefore we would be very happy to also participate in a much wider development which can be taken up, because given the size of our country and the wide variety of foods that are available, especially traditional foods, there is a serious lack of standards and mechanisms as to how to judge whether they are safe or not, and we only have to do it. In fact, FSSAI recently has started a task force for setting up standards for Indian mithai and namkeen, and some of us are part of the panel, and we are discussing very extensively. So one problem that we find is, you call a peda, but the peda can have just milk, or it can have many nuts, it can have coconut, for example, and so on. It can even have certain cereals, but the name itself is peda. So setting standards is a real challenge for these kind of products, and that is well true of every corner of our country. And therefore, I think there needs to be a very, very big workforce who can strengthen FSSAI not only in standards and analysis, but also on the ground to help them to assist in surveillance as well as risk assessment, and definitely training these participants will be of great help. in implementation of the analysis as well as regulatory activities. And another issue is also like we know that 2023 has been declared the year of the millets, and our country is a very major producer of millets, and we do hope to start exporting a lot of products that are millet based. So again, we would be needing a lot of regulations as well as standards for these kind of products, so that the export market and the lead for our country can be retained. So I do feel that this would be a very right move in the right direction, and hopefully we should take off fast and train a good student movement who will be able to also get jobs in this field. I think I will stop here and maybe add on if in case I'm around later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I think it was a fantastic actually start. First, I would like to thanks to ITC FSAN team, Director in charge Shubhaprada ma'am, and Western Region Director Preeti ma'am. Actually, this whole concept has been designed by Preeti ma'am. All the respected other directors like Dr. Pramod sir, Dr. Rajesh sir, those who have joined. I don't know whether Muthumaran sir has joined. All the directors and FSSAI staff, Honorable Vice Chancellor NIFTM, Dr. Vasudevappa, Dr. Sridevi ma'am, CFTR Director, and I could see other names. Sorry if I missed out some names, but I could see Pulkit ma'am, then Meena ma'am, Jagmeet ma'am, then Anil sir, Govind sir, Abdul sir, then Marpana sir, Debjani sir, Dr. Govind sir, Dr. Anil, and Dr. Shavinder, and many. So thank you, Pulkit ma'am, and I request all the dignitaries, if you can open your camera. It is good that we can see each other. This is the COVID time. It is always better to greet each other, to see each other, and that shows the confidence. In next 7.5 minutes or 8 minutes, the time is allocated 10 minutes to me. I'm going to take you the perspective what industry feels about this regulatory program, and why your student should take participation into this, and why your institute should become a partner with ITC FSAN. As Preeti ma'am has explained so nicely, course is designed very beautifully. All the speakers, all the trainers are regulator themselves, so authentication and the expertise is well known. Friends, if you see the food safety, you know that the Lewis Pasteur, which we talked about, pasteurization temperature and pasteurization process, 1864. I think the father of food safety, if we have to talk, it would be the Lewis Pasteur, who has actually coined this pasteurization word, because the pasteurization technique has actually given the safe food concept, safe milk, or killing the microbes, killing the pathogens. But it was 1928 when actually Charles Olin Ball, who has actually converted that scientific word into the real food processing. So 1928, till 1928, it was not known how to utilize. So my academician friends, concept, theory is one thing, but adaptation to the industry is the actually birth of that concept into the reality. So we have to focus on both. Bigger the crisis, bigger the innovation. Just to tell you that entire India, generally Indian food industry spends only 2% of the money of their revenue in the R&D. In the food processing, I'm talking about. In the telecom sector, because the industry is so fast and industry is innovating so fast, they spend around 7%. Pharma spends something around 5 to 7%, because pharma is related to patents and the utilization of the patent. In Indian food industry per se, because of the it is commodity based, innovations are less. We are generally doing the copy. But this pandemic has actually made us to innovate, otherwise evaporate. If we do not innovate, there is a problem of existence. You must have seen many companies have diversified merger, acquisition, or in the new product. I always say this crisis has got us innovation. This crisis of pandemic, like World War I, World War II, which gave so many innovation. You know, maximum patent has been applied during World War II. Maximum in the history world. World War II made actually crisis into the opportunities. Ball pen, photocopy, ready to drink this coffee, jet engine, canning as a technology. This is the World War II inventions. When it will be talked after this corona, maybe after 2-3 years, when the corona will completely go, we will say that, oh, look at that corona phase 2020 to 2021. So many innovations have happened because of the corona. And you will be witnessing, you will be participating, or you will be doing it. Friends, we are passing through the very dark phase of the life. Whenever you call anybody, they will talk about something negative. Some family member is not well, somebody has lost the job, somebody's business is not doing well, something. But hope is so much of positive energy. And there was an experiment, I want to actually mention this, on this experiment at Harvard in 1950. Dr. Kurt Richter, he has placed 2 rats into the water, and after 15 seconds, he has actually removed the rat, and again he has put into the water. What he has observed, rat generally takes only 15 seconds to 20 seconds, otherwise they will get killed into the water. But because of that hope, after 15 seconds, somebody has pulled that rat out. In that hope, that rat continued to swim for 60 hours. This is the power of hope. My friends, our India has this power of hope, and you are the pillar of this hope. We have to make the India shine. We have to make the India #1, and India has all the resources to become #1, because we have that kind of population, that kind of productivity, which we can feed the entire world, and it is possible. Indian food industry, Preeti ma'am has talked about, Prabodh will give the Indian food industry perspective. Unfortunately, 75% of the industry is an unorganized sector. इसका मतलब है वो छोटा sector, it's a small sector, medium sector. Only 25% organized. Again, that 80% of that organized is also a small and medium. They cannot employ the highly skilled people, like highly educated people like food technologists. That is a problem. But the good thing is that this pandemic has given the power of safety to the packaged food, to the properly hygienic food. And then there is a conversion of unorganized to organized. And this is a good thing for the colleges and the food technology and the institutes. I always wonder, why not to have some kind of innovation, like Ola, what has happened to the taxis, Facebook, what has happened to the media, actually this WhatsApp, what has happened to the messengers, Apple phone without having any factory. Can we do something in the food? Yes, with innovation, with kind of out of the box thinking, we can do, your students can do. In 1932, it was a great story when there was actually order which has been passed by the British Parliament called tort of negligence. But 9 years prior to 1932, means 1923, a lady called Donnock, she visited one of the restaurants. She ordered a ginger beer. After ordering the ginger beer, she found that after drinking that, she went to that cafe along with her boyfriend. She found that it is having a dead snail at the bottom of the ginger beer bottle. She complained to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper said that it is none of my business. I am not a producer of the product. But Stevenson is the producer of the product. You go and talk to him. That time there was no labeling guideline. So there was no consumer cell number or the contact us or email ID. After that, she went to Stevenson. Stevenson said, I don't know who are you. I have sold the product to a shopkeeper. You go and fight with him. I'm nowhere concerned to you. She went to police. Police found it very difficult to whom to catch, because there was no control order or some kind of regulation which will catch hold of anybody. It took 9 years to discuss this particular case in the British Parliament, and then the British Parliament passed the order called Tort of Negligence, 1932. If you read the FSSAI Act, Section 26, Section 27, Section 28, a responsibility of the manufacturer has been given as is given in this tort of negligence. Tort means who is responsible. Who is responsible for negligence? The manufacturer. That's why the FSSAI Act, manufacturer is responsible for all the food safety matter, and then manufacturer under the regulation licensing condition, every manufacturer needs to have a technical person, and technical person qualification is also given in our act. So the power to the food industry educated people, food technologists, or any technical educated person as given in the act, it is mandatory to have recruited them. And just I was talking to Preeti ma'am that day, how much of requirement could it be? If we impose this regulation very well, 60,000 jobs get opened up every year. Even if we consider 10% of 5 lakhs, which are the manufacturer, may not have this facility of technical person. They may have given some name, but that person may not be a technical. So friends, this is the food safety power, and they are educated with the appropriate knowledge. So this course will help you to understand, and this course will help you to gain the knowledge and confidence. We all know that the PFA has actually moved to the FSSAI, and now we are under the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. Problem with the Indian foods and food processing is that we are hardly 10%. But this COVID has given a good push to the food processing sector, and we may reach to 15%. Our neighboring countries. Can you unmute everybody, Shubha, and then I will. Can you mute?
Thank you, sir.
You can unmute yourself now, Dr. Prabodh. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Prabodh.
Okay, thanks. Because I was not able to do unmute. This is a good power which Shubha has. She can unmute. She can mute everybody. So the problem is that our food processing numbers are as low as 10%. Our neighboring country like Bangladesh, they are about 20%. China is about 35%. Malaysia is 80%. Just imagine. If you open the fridge today, we get a lot of unprocessed product, lot of fresh products, and we consume food every day fresh and hot. If you go to Western world, they eat hot, not fresh. So that is the difference between India and Western world. They eat hot, not fresh. If you go to your friend in America, they will say, I will serve you hot. Ask them, are you preparing something today? No, 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 I purchased it. So that is the difference between India and this. However, sometimes it's required to have a processed food, and this number is increasing. So the scope for food technology is increasing. How much is the big industry of food processing? Simple calculation. We have a 120 crore population, 137 crore population to be precise. And family size is 45 crore. Every family spend 3,000 rupees per month. So our family spend every year 1,20,000 crore as a domestic spend on the food. Into 12, close to 15 lakhs crore. The entire pharma industry, all my respected friends and colleagues and the dignitaries, is only 2 lakhs crore. पूरा pharma industry का turnover है 2 lakh crore. Food industry only in this form is 15 lakhs crore. I have not counted the hotel industry here. Just imagine the scope. I want this number to be gone to all the students to give them importance, how important it is that you are a part of the big wagon, and this you will be helping the farmer. Participation in the food industry and food safety is you are participating in the welfare of the farmer and the actually safety of the consumer. So you are doing a great job. These are some of the areas which I see the new food processing startup can have. Though we are talking about food safety as one of the aspect in our course, but let me tell you, This industry is growing, a lot of new avenues are coming in. So overall, the scope of the food and nutrition is increasing, particularly Ayurvedic food. VC sir has talked about traditional food. Yes, those have intermediate foods are increasing, plant-based foods are increasing, and export actually is increasing. So the compliance is increasing. The definition of wealth has changed to health. Today you call anybody, first question you will ask, how is your health? How is your family? Nobody is going to ask how much bank balance you have, which country you are traveling. Those questions have gone. Which flat you have purchased, which new car you have purchased. So Pulkit ma'am has written a fantastic book last year, and she's smiling. She has written about the nutrition, and she's one of the expert in the nutrition. You should call Shubha next time, Pulkit ma'am. The new way of eating. I think in the chapter 4th, what I still remember, Pulkit ma'am, the new way of eating and the traditional way of eating with the complete nutrition, what you are on the word is really important. Health is wealth. There is no any other wealth than the health. FSSAI has not only working as a regulator, but they are supporting on many other initiatives where you can actually become a part of the FSSAI on the Eat Right movement, Eat Right challenge, fortification drive, safe and nutritious food at various places, clean street food hub, safe serve restaurant, safe food on the track, railway, FOSTAC, food product identification verification system, Jaivik Bharat, Indian Food Sharing Alliance, and many other things. So through these initiatives, all are available with ITCFSAN. You can join with ITCFSAN. You can register your college with us. We will keep you giving all the notifications, the program which we are doing, and other programs and special program for the students. This slide is so important for the students, and though all the professors, those who are representative of the colleges, and all the vice chancellors and the directors, as I said that every company required a food technologist, those who are in the food industry, in R&D or in quality. Food auditor is a big scope because of the various auditing agencies. 16 agencies has been certified and approved by the FSSAI. There might be 200 auditing firms in India, food auditing firms. Auditor requirements are there. Food safety trainer is a big job. Import and export. Every country you want to export, you require a regulatory knowledge. That could be the good area. Understanding the regulatory knowledge. Importing of the, if you are importing from USA, unless you know the law of the land, it will be difficult. So food technologist, your college food and nutrition person can understand the regulation and can take up the job in that area. Food safety officer, alone FSSAI has 450 officer vacancies last year. They have actually recruited a few. There will be one more recruitment happening in the FSSAI at various levels. Food safety officer, assistant director, deputy director, BIS, egg mark, export inspection council, public analyst. Anyway, by actually qualification, MTech food technology, MSc food technology are qualified for the public analyst. Technical person in FBO. If you see the licensing condition number 4, it says that every food business operator need to have a technical person. If you see the form B, again the clause 4 of the form B, name of the technical person along with the qualification. It is mandated. Even if you consider what actually FSSAI keep talking about, there are 5 crore food businesses. I am giving 10% of that as a licenses. Rest are actually the maybe a registration. So 50 lakhs. Even if you say 50 lakhs, among that 50 lakhs, if you consider only 10% of that 50 lakhs is 5 lakhs do not have a technical person. Amongst that 5 lakhs, even 10% go for recruitment of the technical person. This year, after COVID, you require 50,000 technical people available for jobs. What we need to do, I requested Preeti ma'am, I'm going to talk to CEO sir also on the same, make it compulsory that every licensing need to have a technical person. Our youth will get the huge actually employment, but do our youth have the right knowledge? I think this course will help you to understand the requirement of the food safety and understanding. One more request to all the professors. My son has just qualified 10th and he is a COVID batch, so he got a good marks. But sometime I feel we should make it compulsory for the students to make camera on and some of the actually checking whether the knowledge is being increased or not, because I found that I have interviewed some students and basics are not been aware. So in last 2 years they have lost many things. We need to improve our quality, and I am requesting CFTR director also, because don't consider these students are sharp, they will focus, because the avenues are so many Netflix, so many Instagram reel and all, their mind is engaged with other things. I think we need to bring back into the focus, and we need to ask them focus on the study. It is very important. I know that it's a big challenge. हमारे घर में हमारे बच्चे हमारा नहीं सुनते, तो naturally we will say how the kids will listen to us, but I think we need to come out with some kind of solution. Finally, not to worry about job. R&D opportunities are increasing. Control on your expenses, focus on your strength, help other. There are many other ways to help each other. I think this is one of the fantastic program which Preeti ma'am has suggested. Thanks Shubha for you. You're bringing everybody together. I think we can create and we can help each other, because some of the professors are based in CFTRI. Some of the professors are based in Punjab University. Some are in the NIFTM, some are in the Parbani, some are in the ICT. Can we have actually pull up all the best of the best teachers and make their videos and make in the share portal, something like that, because you have to help each other. Food safety is a good option as a career. As I said, sharpen your skills, understand which area you are going. Let me tell you, food microbiology is going to be the big area of concern, and actually the career also. We are very poor in the food microbiology. Our standards are, we have not mandated any standards for the microbiological test because of unavailability of the laboratories. As we are increasing and as the pickup will happen of the food microbiology, this area is going to have a great future. Startup is a good opportunity. Innovate. So students, if any student is join this, even the professors, do not worry about the future in the food area. There is a future subject. You are of the good quality. If the raw material is good, finished product is going to be the good. Go for higher education. Food safety has a great opportunity. Take project of relevant to the need. Foreign education is going to be a cheaper. Research in area of traditional food, as VC sir has said. Your value is in your hand. Government jobs are opening up, but you have to get prepared for that. I think guidance is required. Mentoring program which we started, NetProfan and AFST, I think that is a great program. Technical jobs in food industry is increasing. Innovate. Innovation is a success. Innovate, otherwise evaporate. If no innovation, you will be not existence. We have to marry with the academia, with the industry and regulator. I think this marriage will innovate and commercialize the success in the market. These three pillars is the success. If you take any country, Japan, France, America, why they are successful today? Because they're all the stakeholders. As Preeti ma'am has said, food safety is the shared responsibility. I think it is a shared responsibility. We have to work together. In isolation, nothing will work. So please think, join the ITC EFSAN. Industries are also joining. Regulators are also there, and academicians. We can do wonders. So finally, success is about risk taking. Please tell your student, take the risk. Keep positive mindset. Start learning and observing. Age is no bar. Absolutely, we can start at any age. No time is good time. Every time is a good time. It's no time is a bad time. Every time is a good time. Start learning. Impart training. Learn from the gurus. Work together. Not in the exam. Not Googling it, but small activities, project work. Think out of the box. Something different. Paradigm shift. Stay away from the negative people. Negative energy. Negative people always see a problem in every solution, and positive people finds a solution in every problem. Choose a wise partner, wise company, and wise friend. Respect your parent, respect your teacher, respect your mentor. They can change your direction. Keep calm, stay at home. I like this poem. All the colleges, I think कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. I think we have to struggle. We have to keep working towards positivity, and one day we'll be there when we'll reach to the destination. You can note down my number, email ID. I will be very happy. I'm the trainer with ITC EFSAN, and thank you, Preeti ma'am, for considering me. And any queries, I open this now forum for the anything for the question answer. Thank you, Shubha, and thank all the
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Prabodh. Always an inspirational speaker, and I think you've brought in a great clarity that this is an attempt to harness the power of the collective. ITC Afsan, as Dr. Prabodh said, is already benefiting from the inputs of industry. For these sessions that we are now going to propose, these have received industry feedback. We have the regulator who is guiding the entire content, but this effort is to reach out to the academics to ensure that our circle of knowledge is complete so that we have a good program for the development of students. To speak and actually showcase a couple of programs that we have developed, I now invite Mr. Irmia Katamgari, who's a technical assistant director from FSSAI, deputed to ITC Afsan, to showcase our sample courses that we have developed for now.
Excuse
Irmia,
me,
should I
Shubha.
share? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So before Irmia can begin with the program, Dr. Karnal Dahitule is here. So we can take him into the line and he can give some guidance on the overall perspective of this program.
That would be excellent. Colonel Dahitule, sir, please. We look forward to your guidance.
Yeah.
Colonel Dahitule is the Regional Director, FSSAI for North and Northeast, one of the most, I think, passionate people in creating a network of knowledge sharing. ITC Afsan has benefited greatly from his inputs for our various programs. He's somebody who continues to ensure that there is a good outreach even to students at a school level. So his inputs for us on this program are very, very valuable. Colonel Dahitule, sir, if you could share your thoughts, please. Ma'am, I actually don't see sir on the program, so I will
Shubha, just a pause of few seconds. He's here only because he's catching a flight also, and he has accepted that he'll be giving a 2-minute overview.
Sure, ma'am. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Pramod sir. You are muted. You are muted. You have to unmute. You have to unmute, sir. You have to unmute.
Yes, sir. Very warm welcome. Look forward to your thoughts, guidance for this initiative of ITC Afsan.
Yeah. Good evening, all. I'm actually traveling. Just got my check-in done, and I thought let me talk when it comes to Education Institute. They have a greater role to play, and there are two which is already ready. Ready. To say one letter in the form of HEI, engagement with Higher Education Institute. Let it be your internship, short online courses, designing of a 6-monthly or annual course, or MPhil or PhD. This has been formalized, is already ready, and there is a formal document on a subject. So
Sir is dropped out. Sir, आपको
Sir, can you please
करना
unmute, sir? Audible.
Sure.
He's saying 2 minutes. Wait for 2 minutes.
Sure. So noted, sir. आप check in कर लीजिए. Ma'am, can we have Irmia do the
Yes.
presentation till
Please.
sir come?
Yes, sir. Sir, so pause for 2 minutes or so, and Irmia will begin with his own thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Please, Irmia.
Yes, Irmia. Over to you for presenting the details of the sample programs that we've done.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Once again, I thank to all the dignitaries. And first of all, I thank Director Preeti, ma'am, from giving me this opportunity to be a part of ITCEPSEN and being involved in the various kinds of training programs, and also especially the students-oriented programs. So it is I am so delighted to share with you. So what we have been doing and focusing on the part of students. So ITCEPSEN have been focused on the students, and we have conducted a lot of training sessions. Even we have approached, reached to a lot of thousands of students. From all our training programs, even we have given special discounts for the students so that we could get a lot of students from different colleges. Even the main beauty of the ITCEPSEN, the way it is focused on the students. So last year, the month of December 2020, it was completely dedicated for the students. So whole month we have conducted a lot of sessions, and even it was ended with the very eminent faculties from the industry's expertise, and the students could get good interaction with the eminent faculties. Even we have got good feedback from the students after attending the training programs conducted by the ITCEPSEN. So I think you can see on the screen. So maximum students, they were very happy. The main thing, they're interacting with the direct authoritative officers or very eminent faculties. Even Pramod Halde sir also he has taken some sessions for the students. So that was the very interactive sessions the students could enjoy. So I think as ITCEPSEN, we have conducted all the trainings. So we have involving and giving special emphasis on the students. So in connection to this and to give more importance to the analytical and testing part. So these are some few training programs we have developed ITCEPSEN. The first one is the LCMSMS. So it can give the objective of this training program is to teach the students all the principles of the working of LCMSMS, the instrumentation, the setup and machine operation, the application of this chromatography, then the standard preparation, the analysis and interpretation. So all these, the module is meant for the hands-on training, so that where the colleges or universities, so where they don't have the these very highly sophisticated equipments like LCMSMS, so they can ITCEPSEN can offer. So we can give you hands-on training on these equipments, so that students ITCEPSEN can fill the gap of instrumental part also. So that is the beauty. I think this is not meant for the individual. Even it is some. We have given some group-wise also some discounts. Even our total, the two categories we have made. One is the basic session, then advanced level. So if you want to cover all the 5 days hands-on training, the total cost will be 8,000 rupees. So no GST is applicable. So I think anybody is interested in this line, even through management, maybe individual student level, you can directly approach to ITCEPSEN. ITCEPSEN is ready to help for the registering and maybe give you some special guidance on this. The second program we have the understanding the food regulations of India, as our guest of honors, and they were highlighting upon how the regulations are very important in our country. So since the beauty of this program is it is designed by the FSSAI authority, then the teaching faculty also is the officers from the FSSAI. So all the maximum areas of regulations, including codex, is covered under this schedule. So I think that all the students can get benefited. So this is a completely meant for the college-wise program, because it's not individual program. So what we thought, maybe for 50 students, maybe we can charge 1 lakh rupees for the college. So even it's depend on the numbers. So it is maybe we can discuss on the number of participants or students are available with the college. So case by case we can may give you special offer for the based on the number of students. So I think all the regulations of the India FSSAI is covered. So it is one more training you can think about. It is going to start from the September. So I think you can ready for this program. The important area is the import regulations. Since there are a lot of food products are importing to our country, so it's a very important to know all the aspect of the regulations. What is the case study examples, then how to fill out the documents, what is the even analytical parameters, the testing parameters, the quality inspection, the labeling requirements of the imports, because import has different requirements for the labeling requirements. So all these aspects exclusively for the import. So this is going to cover again for 2 months program. So you can have maybe try for these programs, enroll. Maybe this is the certificate you can get. This is one template of the certificate. So where you can have the FSSAI logo and IT section, then GFSP, then EIC. So all these government bodies certificate you have on the certificate. This is it gives more value apart from the logos. Then it is all the sessions are taught by the FSSAI officials. That is as the professor said. So all the technical experts from this field. So they are going to teach, and all the students, they are going to interact with the faculties directly, and even regarding some programs, we have the pre-recorded sessions. So those recorded sessions will be played. Maybe after end of the session, we can allocate some responsible person, faculty, so that we can have direct interaction with the students. We can solve all your queries, and we can attend all your questions and answers. So I think it is a time for us to have the discussion on the path forward. So over to you, ma'am. I thank you. Thank you so much for Director ma'am giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Irmia, for that detailed explanation as to the content that we have. Just to summarize for all the academicians, the courses have been structured to have, they have been built in blocks of 15 hours. So the attempt is that you can allocate your credits as 1, 2, or 3 credits for each of these programs. It includes project work to take care of the continuous evaluation component and the assessment in keeping with the standard UGC norms that they are. So these have been kept in mind while developing these programs. The pricing is something which is indicative, and that's part of something that we seek your feedback on, also your feedback on how we can improve this. At the end of the session, we will be emailing the detailed content for at least these sample programs across to all of you, and we look forward to your feedback. To start the discussion forward, I will request Colonel Dahitule sir. He's joined us back. Sir, if you can please continue your
Yeah, thank you so much. I will take on after rewinding the what I was talking about. So, two aspects what I spoke about was firstly what is available and in formalized manner. So we have a program of engagement with Higher Education Institute started in November 2019, in which we spoke about what type of courses one can start, what should be stakeholders' responsibility, and briefly, if you do gap analysis of what is available and what is not, there is a very interesting combination which is coming up. Now, to summarize this, I will not take much time because there's another VC which is starting after 10 minutes, but let me speak for 5 minutes or so. What is available is specialized courses on food safety. IGNOU has one PG diploma. They are planning master's course. But if you see, everybody is talking about food safety, but not food safety in total. In a sense, a dedicated course where it acts as an interface between various functions. I'm focusing on basically a regulatory one. So what is not there is basically something to talk about import-export regulations, some exam like CHA. It can be thought of, and your course can be with different aims. So in that, we can go very intelligently of articulation of skilling, which should form a main component. Let's say if I have to design two types of courses, one is short 6-month and one is 1 year full-time course. So depending on what is my aim, 4 quick modules we can talk of is only first is starting with legal, pure your act rules regulation. Then the second one can be trade, that is import export of countries primarily we are dealing with, along with drills, procedures, and where bottlenecks are, where failures are. What happens to importing consignment, what happens to exporting consignment, and what happens to re-exported consignment. So this kind of skilling on the job training on a system, because what is going to make difference as far as the regulatory framework is concerned is your knowledge of IT platforms and how you are going to use it. So in second part, which is a trade related part, we can talk about import and export. And this can be followed by third, that is very important function of consultancy. Now what is happening, people are setting up units in food park, mega food park, and they are guided or misguided by various people. When they come at the stage of license, suddenly you feel, alright, these are requirements they have left out and nothing can be done because you cannot rewind this short-term project. So we had cases wherein people knowing fully well what is safe, what is unsafe, are putting two manufacturing or processing lines together and getting into problem at licensing stage. We also encounter number of cases where policies are formed without knowing the core. That is, let's say, there is one policy which has been formed about a particular product without knowing the definition of that product. And look at the huge embarrassment or problem or turmoil it is going to cause in a system if everybody starts following that. So it happens. So for policymaker, for adjudicating officer, there is a vast scope. And we can have a training, absolute training requirement of regulators in terms of starting with adjudication. Even we can have some guidance documents for court because very few cases are there in food related acts. And most of them are pending for a long time. So we can have one execution, that is enforcement model, in which what are bottlenecks, how we can go after your trade facilitation. Then coming to last point is industrial visit, like we have been conducting many, but what is left out is net learning from that visit. So if quick snapshot of high risk industries taken or specific industries, and these industries then become guiding for others. This kind of connect I find is totally missing in field. Now I was talking to somebody yesterday, one of the large FBO, 5-star hotel here, I said, why don't you take this program and why don't you start educating people and what will happen? So he says in one line, if I start doing that and start talking about rules and regulation, people will feel ki I want to move ahead and compromising others' business. So this local area network is very interesting story. So I was thinking that he should be able to teach better, talk better, at least in his area. But he says the business interests are not going along. So this is again one learning from yesterday's experience. If somebody has to talk practical, it may not happen in his area of jurisdiction and people may not take him or her at face value. So these are my some field impression. Time is less. I wanted to speak much more, but I'm moving to phase 2 of my checking in. So thank you so much for giving me opportunity. What I will quickly say, let trade and running of factories become a model on which superimpose safety. Try and find out where bottlenecks are and real issues are, and impart more skills rather than only theoretical knowledge. And finally, it is if everything has to succeed, then it has to be people's participation in or out of area, the realistic experience gathering, and having a composite matrix. Then only that course will become popular, become sustainable, and have at least 3 to 4 certification inbuilt, like 17025, have it part of your course. Fast track basic catering, have it part of your course. How to form a training partner and third party audit agency, give them idea. So they move onto a track of either entrepreneurship with their own capabilities, or form companies, or get into major alliances, or some system which helps us to do better and finally achieve a safe food culture. That is a destiny. Thank you so much for giving opportunity, and I'll be discussing after some time maybe with concerned persons my thoughts on their individual network. And Jai Hind, bye bye.
Jai Hind, sir. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Very,
Thank
very
you,
thoughtful.
it's a pleasure.
Very, very thoughtful comments, sir. We will definitely include these. All of these, I think, are of high value. I will need to move it from a 3 credit to a 5 credit program, but definitely there is immense value in what you are saying about, yes, we've tried to keep it skill based, but including other certifications, bringing in an enforcement model, teaching people to be adjudication officers. These are definitely gaps that exist. Very well noted, sir. Sincere thanks for these inputs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Can we request Rajesh sir, if he's still with us, if he has any thoughts that he would like to share? Rajesh sir?
Shubha, we can conclude. I think he has left.
I think Samay had left. Okay. So we are, I mean, the session is open. If any of the senior academicians, we have very, very senior academicians with us, Dr. Mala Pandurang, Negi sir, Dr. Alok Srivastava, N.I. Singh sir, ma'am, Sridevi ma'am is still with us. Any of you, Meena Mehta ma'am, Dr. Kolako, Dr. Geeta Abraham, any of you have any thoughts that you would like to share, then please feel free to do so. We will be emailing out the sample programs that we have done and a feedback form for you to think about it and give us your feedback, and we sincerely solicit that you do that. But as of now, if there's anything that you would like to add, Dr. Debjani, Dr. Badwek, all of you are extremely senior academicians. We look forward to your inputs, please.
Thank you, Subha. If I can add, this is Geeta here.
Please, ma'am, go ahead.
Good afternoon to all, and happy to see so many familiar names and faces of you. As Prabodh rightly said, we should switch on our cameras, at least the.
We are going to take a photograph, so please switch on your cameras and you will be lucky to be captured in our photo.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Geeta Ibrahim, Principal of Nirmala Niketan College. Ma'am, you wanted to share some thoughts?
Yeah, I thought I got muted, I think. Sorry. So I said I'm happy to be here on this, sharing this platform with you all, and congratulations on this very good initiative. Knowing Subha and Prabodh there, we can expect only the best. And of course, there are so many stalwarts here who just, briefed us about the different aspects, and definitely looking forward to how to take it ahead. Of course, we will have to look at it because of the academic tight schedules, and with this online education that is on, and with skewed terms. But definitely it would be a real good opportunity for our students who are more into theoretical aspects, and now with the online, practicals are absolutely zero. So, as Prabodh rightly said, they have no knowledge of the practical knowledge is getting lost somewhere now. And these sort of courses would be a great, immense help to us, to the students. So, I mean, I don't know, we'll have to discuss it at the college level with the department, but I would really appreciate and look forward to taking it ahead. Thank you so much. Let us know how you are planning and how to go ahead with this.
Yeah, ma'am, I think what I request, all the dignitaries, all the professors, principals of the different colleges, you may take up this course, you may not, but at least get registered with ITC FSAN. We will make the one portal only for all the academician. At least you be a part of the NET. After that,
Sure.
whatever the point you want to join, it's okay. But Preeti ma'am, what I request, all the today's gathering, whatever has happened today, at least if you become our part of you just show one acknowledgement that you are interested to be part of ITC FSAN, you may take up the course. But we do not have only limited this course. We have many such courses, and you will be our recipient of the emailer, and you become a part of our extended family. So this is a
excellent
request.
Excellent. Of course, Prabodh, definitely we will do. We will surely do.
Definitely.
Yes, and
we're looking forward to your mentorship ahead.
Shubha,
Thank you, ma'am.
Sridevi ma'am wanted to say something. Sridevi ma'am, Director CFTRI, she left in between and she said, so Sridevi ma'am, if you want to just.
I'm good. I don't have anything further to add. I think a lot has been said and everything is fine. And yeah, we would also like to be part of it.
Thank you, ma'am. Your guidance and excellent.
Thank you very much. Extremely sorry. Another meeting from the headquarters is going. You can hear the sound. So I have to leave in between. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr.
Shubha,
Dejani,
we have
ma'am,
Lakshman,
you were wanting to say something?
Badwaik sir from Tejpur. He wanted to say something. Yes. Lakshman, yes. Dr. Lakshman from Tejpur.
Sir,
लक्ष्मीकांत बदवाइक सर आपका नामकरण हो गया नया नामकरण
yes so I am happy to see all the known faces once again after a long time. Yes sir, this course I think really help us like in our university I am teaching such type of courses about quality safety to the students, but they have some limitations, and in a 2 credit or 3 credit we need to do many things. So this will be good opportunity now, but I don't know how our institute will able to accommodate such type of the courses, because it is not my personal view that I can join. Okay, I can join, but how the students can be get benefited, that platform need to be clear. By knowledge wise, we have done meeting with the Colonel Dahitule, as he is in our area only northeast. So he also guided us like to change the syllabus and to modify the syllabus according to the requirement. So it will be great help for us also to include it. But the channel and how we can convince our administration, that will be the main task for us. So thank you. That is my concern.
Thank you, Dr. Badwaik, and well noted. I think there are UGC norms which we need to comply with, and the effort will be that we, with all of your inputs, work towards standardizing and complying so that the rollout becomes easier. Absolutely, sir, that's required. Dr. Devjani, ma'am, you were wanting to say something?
I just wanted to congratulate you all for this wonderful work that you're doing. And I can certainly say my students will be very interested in participating in all these programs. And a lot of work, needs done. So I am there. Yeah, and I think we should get to a smaller meeting, and I can give more ideas and tell you how things can go forward.
Really appreciate that, ma'am. We were looking at formulating a guiding committee for this, and thank you so much for volunteering. I will definitely reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Subha, just one more clarification. You said we could become a part of this. So is it like a department or is it individual, or how do we join this?
Ma'am, not as an individual. Of course, as individuals, they are welcome to join. But this initiative is to associate academic institutions, colleges, and departments of food science, microbiology, bioanalytics, nutrition, with not at an individual student level.
Okay. So you'll let us know, right? You'll let me know how to go about it.
I will reach out all the details. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Negi sir, anything that you would like to add with your experience of the food tech program at CRI?
Yeah, that's fine to me, but if you provide us syllabus and all those things, then we can.
Absolutely. We will be emailing that out, sir.
Thank you.
Right. Since we are actually over half an hour beyond that time, our apologies on that. I will like to close the session now and invite Samiksha, if you could please give a small vote of thanks so that we can close the session and also inform them on the path forward.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries. First of all, thank you to all the respected participants for their valuable input and for giving us their worthy time. Assurance that the inputs received today will be collated to attain an impactful education program. Special thanks to our honorable speakers, Ms. Preeti Chaudhary ma'am, Regional Director FSSAI Western Region, Dr. Prabodh Hande sir, Member CAC FSSAI, Ms. Shubhaprada Nishtala ma'am, our Director ITC FSAN, Shri Irmia sir, Assistant Director ITC FSAN, respected regional directors, and all the kind chancellors and principals, Dr. Vasudevappa sir, Dr. Sridevi ma'am, Colonel Dahitore sir, we thank you all for your motivation and words of guidance. The feedback link will be shared to you via email soon after the program ends. We look forward to your continued collaboration with all your institutions for higher quality standardized education for the students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samiksha. Thank you, everyone. We close the session like this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Jai Hind. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rashid sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you, ma'am.